Hey guys, Deke from Thoughts on the Bench, and I'm calling a press conference. It's come to my attention that there's a little bit of tension amongst some of our all-stars here at Thoughts from the Bench. I want to make it very well known that the graphics decision and the new set were brought to corporate, me, and you know what, we're going to do everything we can to make John Fisher comfortable with this company, being the face of the company that he is. That being said, we will have to cut one night of production. So the SmackDown Live show with Josh Elsas and the ending update with Indie Darling will be now shot at the same location, at the same time, on the same date. These are cuts that have been brought to the company in order to maintain our roster of John Fisher and others. Please look for their video to come out. I have no doubt in my mind that both class acts of Elsas and Darling will do just fine. And everything else is business as usual.
I don't know what you're eating up about, man. This is awesome. We get to do so much now. We can talk about AJ Styles in New Japan. We can talk about Nakamura in Japan. We can talk about Bobby Roode going to TNA and then convert it over to WWE. This is amazing. How are you not excited for this?
You at least got to let me wear the mask.
Deal.
All right, this is cooler than I thought it was going to be.
Told you.
Gather on, marks, and welcome to another SmackDown Live recap from Thoughts from the Bench. I'm your host, Josh Elsas. SmackDown Live was really good this week. 205 wasn't as good, and the Mixed Match Challenge had mixed results. So let's dive right into it. First thing I want to talk about is Big E Langston. We all know the New Day has to break up at some point, but wouldn't you just kind of like to see Big E on a run of his own right now? That promo on SmackDown was incredible. And more than likely, Big E will be the standout star immediately after the breakup of the New Day. But my money's on Xavier Woods later. But let's not get to that right now. The Tag Team Championships on SmackDown Live are in turmoil. There's 4 viable teams competing for it as we head down the road to the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. Should be pretty exciting. Fingers crossed the Bludgeon Brothers lose their really crappy hammers somewhere along the way. Something else to talk about, the free agent John Cena returns to SmackDown Live to do nothing more than continue to whine and complain and force his way into WrestleMania. I don't like you, John Cena. I don't like how you inserted yourself into the main event of Fastlane by beating the phenomenal one AJ Styles. I'm a SmackDown Live guy. I don't want none unless it's the phenomenal one. And when I come home and I park my car in the driveway, it is at the house that AJ Styles built.
More like bike.
Whatever. Needless to say, John Cena is in the main event in Fastlane, but we all know AJ will retain and go on to WrestleMania. And, well, take it away, Shinsuke.
I'm gonna beat you at WrestleMania.
If SmackDown Live is the house that AJ Styles built, then 205 Live is like the house that Roderick Strong's renting. Either way, he beat Kalisto and moves on in the bracket to determine the championship match at WrestleMania for the Cruiserweight title. Also, TJP lost to Cedric Alexander. That one I don't necessarily understand because Cedric Alexander is very boring to me. TJP, well, even if he's a weird bad guy who likes video games, he's still a guy who is weird and likes video games. So, and I let the Indie Darling in my house for, fun. So, yeah, but 205 Live continues to impress, and as we move forward and the matchups start to get a little more star-studded, I think it's going to be really fun to watch this boil through all the way down to the WrestleMania. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. My pick to win the whole Mixed Match Challenge tournament is out. And they lost to Asuka. I understand why Asuka and The Miz had to win. And I understand that as they continue to say on commentary, her streak was on the line. And that's pretty cool. And I'll be pumped when Asuka wins the title at Mania. But you had to squash my dreams that early, WWE. You couldn't have moved Asuka in the Braun Strowman. Like, you couldn't have flipped them and at least let them get to the finals. Come on, man. It's so cool. They came out and they did the entrance together. Whatever. Bobby Roode and Charlotte Flair. Road Warriors all the way. Woo! Well, that wraps it up for me this week, Marks. Thanks for tuning in. As always, make sure you follow us on all the different social media accounts. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and maybe Vero. Probably not. I'm still not sure how to use it. Also, make sure you like and subscribe on the YouTube channel for all of your updates. We have a new show debuting this week. Last week with Deke, which was very exciting to see the Deke Man back on Thoughts from the Bench. That wraps it up for me. Have a great week.